Hi everyone. This week we will start Unit 8, Science Counts. In this unit, there are various grammar topics. Today, in this lesson, we will learn how to talk about our past habits by using used to. Let's start. We use used to talk about actions or states that happen continually or always in the past, and also for habits in the past that no longer happen now. Let's check the examples. The first one. I used to play basketball when I was in high school. As you can see in this sentence, used is used to talk about an action that I did continually in the past, and it means that I don't do it anymore. I used to play basketball when I was at high school. So shortly, we can say that we use used to for a repeated action in the past. And the second example, my mother used to be slim when she was younger. In this sentence again, we are talking about the appearance of my mom in the past. And again, when we use used to here, it means that she isn't like that anymore. My mother used to be slim when she was younger, but it means that she isn't slim anymore. Here, the verb to be is used, so it's not a kind of action, it's a kind of state. For the second usage, we can say that we use used to talk about states in the past. And the third example, he used to bite his nails when he was a small child. When you look at the sentence, it seems to be a kind of habit in the past, biting his nails. So, if we say, he used to bite his nails when he was a small child, it means that he doesn't bite his nails anymore. So, the third usage of used to is, we use it to talk about our past habits. Let's go on with the positive, in other words, affirmative forms of used to. The first subject. I used to drink milk when I was a child. I used to drink milk when I was a child. As a meaning, it means that I don't drink milk anymore. Let's check the grammatical structure of this sentence this time. First, we use the subject at the beginning of a sentence, and then used to, and then the bare infinitive form of the verb, drink. It means verb 1. The second subject, you used to play tennis when you were young. It is the same with the second subject also. First the subject at the beginning of a sentence, and then used to, and then the bare infinitive of the verb. The third one is, he or she or it used to live in Istanbul. He or she or it used to live in Istanbul. Again, the same. And the other one is, we used to be quite fat. We used to be quite fat. First the subject, and then used to, and the bare infinitive form of the verb. And the other one is, you used to wake up very early in the mornings. You used to wake up very early in the mornings. And the last one is, they used to be very lazy at high school. Again, when we look at all the sentences for the positive or affirmative forms of used to, first we use the subject at the beginning of a sentence, and then used to, and then the bare infinitive form of the verb. Let's go on with the negative forms of used to this time. I didn't used to drink milk when I was a child. I didn't used to drink milk when I was a child. This time the structure changes. For the negative forms of used to, we use, just remember the negative form of simple past tense, it is the same with it. I didn't used to. Again, first we use I at the beginning of a sentence and then didn't used to, and then again the bare infinitive form of the verb. Didn't used to. Be careful at this point. You cannot use the at the end of use because it's a kind of negative form. Let's go on with the second subject. You didn't used to play tennis when you were young. The other one is he or she or it didn't used to live in Istanbul. And the other one is we didn't used to be quite fat. And you didn't used to wake up very early in the mornings. And they didn't used to be very lazy at high school. As you see again, in all sentences, first we use the subject at the beginning of a sentence, and then didn't use, and then didn't use to, and then the bare infinitive form of the verb. Okay, let's go on with the question forms of used to with short answers. And the first one, did I used to drink milk when I was a child? Imagine that you are asking this question to your mom. Did I used to drink milk when I was a child? So be careful, it's the kind of question. This time we used it at the beginning of a sentence and then the subject and used to again. Be careful, used to and the bare infinitive form of the verb. Did I used to drink milk when I was a child? Yes, you did. Or no, you didn't. Short answers. And the second one, did you used to play tennis when you were young? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. Did he or she or it used to live in Istanbul? Yes, he did. Or no, she didn't. Did we used to be quite fat? Yes, you did. Or no, you didn't. Did you used to wake up very early in the mornings? Yes, we did. Or no, we didn't. Did they used to be very lazy at high school? Yes, they did. Or no, they didn't. Let's check with the full answers also. Did I used to drink milk when I was a child? For short answers, we can say yes, you did, or no, you didn't. But as a full answer, we can say yes, you used to drink milk when you were a child, or no, you didn't used to drink milk when you were a child. Again, did he or she or it used to live in Istanbul? Yes, he used to live in Istanbul. Or no, he didn't used to live in Istanbul. Let's go on with WH question forms of used to. Let's remember WH question words. They are who, which, when, what, like that. These are WH question words. Let's check the question forms with WH question words now. Where did you used to live when you were a child? Where is a kind of WH question word. And again, remember the question form of used to. We used it after a question word. Where did you used to live when you were a child? And we can say, I used to live in Mersin when I was a child. I used to live in Mersin when I was a child. So it means that I don't live in Mersin anymore. And the second example, why did your mother used to be very fat when she was younger? Why? Why did your mother used to be very fat when she was younger? Again, why is a kind of WH question word, and after this question word, we use it, and then your subject, and used to, and the bare infinitive form of the word. She used to be very fat when she was younger because she used to eat fast food. So it means that my mom isn't fat now and she doesn't eat fast food anymore. And the other one, what did your daughters used to do when they were small? What did your daughters used to do when they were small? They used to cry a lot when they were small. They used to cry a lot when they were small. It means that they don't cry anymore. So, there's a note here for you. We only use used to talk about the past. Don't forget about it. When we talk about things that happen repeatedly or always in the present, we normally use present simple tense. Let's check the examples so that you can understand better. She used to live in the USA when she was a teenager. When we use used to here, it means that we are talking about the past. She used to live in the USA when she was a teenager. So it means that she doesn't live in the USA anymore. But if we say she lives in the USA, so it means that she still lives in the USA. So here the sentence indicates that we are talking about the present, not the past. So there's another note here for you again. As you remember, we use didn't used to for the negative form of used to, but also you can use never used to like that. Let's check. I didn't used to like classical music, but now I do. I didn't used to like classical music, but now I do. We can also say like that. He never used to play with other children. Again, these two sentences, when we look at these two sentences, the meanings are the same. Both of them are negative sentences. But as you see, in the second sentence, never is used. So let's remember when we use never in a sentence, so the meaning changes into a negative form. That's why we use positive form of the structure, sentence structure, but the meaning is negative. I didn't used to like classical music, but now I do. He never used to play with other children. So it means that he didn't used to play with other children. Let's check the difference between used and simple past tense. In some sentences, we can sometimes find it difficult to decide on using the past simple or used to. The past simple is always used as an alternative to used to talk about past states or habits. But the main difference is that if something happened just once, we have to use the past simple. You can understand it clearly in the examples, I think. We used to go to our summer house in Bodrum every summer when I was a small child. We used to go to our summer house in Bodrum every summer when I was a small child. When we check the sentence, it seems to be a repeated action in the past. But in the second sentence, we went to our summer house in Bodrum in 2009 when I was a small child. So, in this sentence, we can understand that it is the action happened just once at a definite point in time in the past. That's why we use simple past tense here. But in the first sentence, we are talking about a repeated action in the past. That's why we use used to here. So, for the first sentence, we use used to, and for the second sentence, we use simple past. Now, let's do some exercises. Rewrite the following sentences with the correct form of used to. I'll wait for a while for you to answer first, and then we can check your answers together. Rewrite the following sentences with the correct form of used to. It means that positive, negative, or question form of used to. Let's check the first one. Last month, I rode my bicycle to school. Now, I don't ride my bicycle to school. The second one, 10 years ago, my sister studied Japanese. Now, she doesn't study Japanese. And the third one, before, my father didn't do exercise. Now, he does exercise. Or, last year, my classmates didn't study hard. Now, they study hard. And the last one, a long time ago, people didn't have TV, but now people have TV, televisions. So just think about it and try to rewrite the following sentences with the correct form of used to. Let's start the first one. Last month, I rode my bicycle to school. Now I don't ride my bicycle to school. So we can say, I used to ride my bicycle to school. And the second one, 10 years ago, my sister studied Japanese, but now she doesn't study it. So we can say, she used to study Japanese. Before, my father didn't do exercise. Now he does exercise. So we can say, my father didn't used to exercise. And question 4, last year my classmates didn't study hard. Now they study hard. So we can say, my classmates didn't used to study hard. And 5, a long time ago, people didn't have TV, and now they have. So we can say people didn't used to have TV a long time ago in the past, we can say. And the second exercise, answer the questions about you. Imagine that yourself when you were a small child. Then use used to in your answers. Like that, for example, what did you used to watch on TV when you were a small child? Just think about your childhood, then you can easily answer these questions. Or what time did you used to go to bed at night? Who used to be your best friend when you were a small child? Think about your best friend in the past. And did you used to walk to school? Did you used to walk to school? Okay, I'll wait for a while for you also to answer these questions according to yourselves, and then we'll check them together. Okay, let's start. What did you used to watch on TV when you were a small child? For example, I used to watch cartoons when I was a small child, but it means that I don't watch it anymore. And the second one, what time did you used to go to bed at night when you were a small child? I used to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night when I was a small child, but now I can't go to bed at night at 8 o'clock at night. Just I can go to bed at 10 o'clock maybe at night. And the third question, who used to be your best friend when you were a small child? And it used to be my best friend, we can say. And the last one, did you used to walk to school? Yes, I did. As a short answer, you can say. And also you can say, yes, I used to walk to school. Or no, I didn't. Let's go on with the other part. Make an affirmative sentence, negative sentence, or question form using used to. Yes, you are going to make an affirmative sentence or negative sentence or question form of used to. I live in a flat when I was a child. When we check the first sentence, it seems to be an affirmative sentence. And the second one, we go to the beach every summer. So there's a question mark at the end of a sentence. So it means that you have to make a question sentence in the second one. And the third one, she loved eating chocolate, but now she hates it. She loved eating chocolate, but now she hates it. Or she be able to speak French, but she has forgotten it all. And I not hate school. Among these sentences, let's check be able to here. So just I want to remind you that we use be able to talk about abilities in all tenses. Okay. Yes, the first one. I used to live in a flat when I was a child. I used to live in a flat when I was a child. Or must be a question. Did we used to go to the beach every summer? Did we used to go to the beach every summer? Just remember for the question forms, we used it at the beginning of a sentence and then the subject and used to and the bare infinitive form of the verb. And the third one, she used to love eating chocolate, but now she hates it. In the past, she used to love eating chocolate, but now she hates it. And four, she used to be able to speak French, but she has forgotten it all. She used to be able to speak French in the past, but now she can't. And the last one, as you see not here, so it means that we have to use negative form of used to. So I didn't use to hate school. Just remember, for the negative form of used to, we use the subject at the beginning of a sentence, and then didn't use to, and then verb one. It means bare infinitive form of the verb. Thanks for listening.